How's it going?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
Great. Good morning for me.
we have already afternoon.
Good.
Yeah, here too. Early afternoon.
Here too.
So, well, Fede from Argentina. That's why it's morning for him. Michael, I'm German but living in Hungary, and Sean from Australia.
Sean from Australia, living in Budapest.
Okay.
So all of you are in Europe. Right. Now we're checking a lot of music, Asphyx and Sodom also music, but I saw these days that you have another project with a guy from Sodom also.
Yeah, I have many projects.
Many, yeah. It was so interesting to say, hey, Husky has many bands, many things. So interesting to know a little bit more.
Yeah, I have first that band is actually it's an older band from the area where I live now. Band is called Rotten Casket, and some years ago the lineup was with 4 Dutch guys and my friend Frank, who's playing guitar. And yeah, after since I moved to Epe 2 years ago, the place where I live now, yeah, we decided to reanimate the band again, and yeah, then we have new members. It's Martin van Droen on vocals, Yorck from Sodom on guitars, and a bass player called Patrick from a Dutch band called Disabuse.
Wow, you have a great and amazing death metal band and singer.
Yes. Let's see it, but it's a bit, of course, it's a bit difficult to Asphyx. It's more like a bit entomb-ish death metal with some crust parts and stuff, so a bit punky sometimes. So that's the music what I like at the moment a lot. So yeah, and then I have my other death metal band, CarnalGhoul. There's also a bit more Swedish death metal bands with guys from the band Milking the Goat Machine from Germany.
Oh yeah,
maybe you know them. I'm not sure. No. No. Yeah, it's more like what's it? Yeah, they go with goat masks on stage and stuff. So it's more a bit funny stuff.
Cool.
You must be cool out.
Yeah.
And then I have Trinitas. This is my black metal project with Vaga from Nagelfahr and Bewitched.
That's all?
Awesome.
Sorry?
That's all?
At the moment, that's all. Yeah.
That's a lot.
So it sounds like you're a busy guy.
Yeah, I try to keep me busy, right?
Yeah.
I cannot do so much work at the moment, so I try to do, I bought a house with my wife, and I also built extra rehearsal room for myself in the cellar, so I can start practicing all the shit I have to learn.
Yeah.
So is that what you've been doing in the last year when you can't tour? Just writing music, practicing?
Yeah.
That's what you've been doing. Cool. Yeah. So it must be very hard.
And I was renovating the house, so I was quite busy. And was also all the promotion for the new Asphyx album took a lot of time. I only made like 15 interviews or something, but Martin, I think he did like 400 or something.
400
worldwide.
So he knows very well the Zoom stuff.
Yeah. Not writing, it's good.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, all over the world. We saw the introduction of the last album. It was in January. It was awesome. The show.
Yo, thank you.
How was the feeling? Without the crowd.
The funny thing was, until after the 3rd song, everything was like a normal show, because intro started, we went on stage, the lights everywhere, you couldn't see the audience. But after that, when we stopped after the first 3 songs, and there was no reaction from the other side, it was like, okay.
It's a bummer. Yeah, right.
Must feel weird.
Yeah. It was strange bit, but on the other hand, it was kind of a little bit going back to normal, entering the venue, build up the backline and rehearsing and stuff. So that was nice, but yeah, it was not easy to have no reaction from outside. You know, we had only our crew was screaming, but it was like 2 or 3 guys. Yeah, it's totally different. And the thing is, you cannot look in the face of the guys. You know, you don't know if they liked it or not. You know, when you see it live, you see that there are guys screaming, so they enjoy it. But when there's no one, it's not easy. But
yeah. So you didn't have any chance right now to show the new material with crowd?
No. That was the first time. Yeah.
Wow.
But at the moment we are preparing shows in Germany in July, but it's kind of a corona-proof shows with the seated the audience is sitting. And,
holy shit! I would prefer no gig at all. You know,
we did that 3 times now with this seated audience. First time was in a church, that was fine. But the third and the second one was, at the end, people are standing up, staying on their places, you know, but it's not.
No pit. Wheelchair
No.
was no, that sucks. No,
it's impossible when Asphyx or whatever metal band start to play, and you must be like 2 meters from the other guy, you know, just drink beer alone and get banging. That's all.
Yeah, it's not easy at the moment.
Yeah. Well, this year, I think this year it will be the same. Maybe next year we will have live concerts again, I hope.
Yeah, the thing is, you know, I'm working for a booking agency in Germany, and every day is a change. I only can speak for Germany, you know. I don't know how it's in other European countries, but no, it's like ups and downs. On one side, they open the schools now. On the other hand, the numbers are going up again, you know. So now they're thinking of closing the schools again. So that means for us that to play shows or to organize shows becomes later in the year, and that's a really big problem. But we are working on a couple of shows in July, from July to September. But this shows with a corona-approved distance, whatever, blah 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 show.
Yeah.
But in the end, it's people at the moment really, and I think they will enjoy it because they miss this live situation. And if they have to sit, it's better for them instead of having no shows. You know? So,
it's better than nothing. You know, it's a step in the right direction. Yeah.
But it's
will you be? Yeah, I know. Will you be doing any more of your live stream shows, you think, in the foreseeable future, or nah?
We from the beginning, when the pandemic started, we directly said, no, we don't stream anything. You know, let us go writing the album, finish this, blah blah blah. But when it comes to the release show, we said, okay, it's like we do it on every album, like that we do a release show. So then we said, we want to do that. Normally this year is the REC 30 anniversary. So
congratulations. Awesome. 30 years. I remember when I was young, I listened to Bombenagel and Ausgebombt and also Sodom stuff and Asphyx, of course, it's an every album, and everybody in my age said, like, my parents said, okay, it will last like 3 years, you know, it will be over. And now we are sitting here 30 fucking years later, you know, still long hair, as much hair as we can still have, you know, and still doing the same shit, you know.
Awesome. The same with me, you know. I have some old schoolmates. They are asking me like, when you get what's it in English? Sorry.
You can speak it in German because Michael is German, so.
Yeah, of course I can translate.
Was heißt denn nochmal? Wann wirst du erwachsen?
When will you grow up? You know, like
when you will grow up. Yeah. Sorry.
We speak many languages here, so.
Yeah.
Spanish, English, German,
Australian.
And Australian English.
Yeah.
No, awesome. Yeah.
Husky, you used to be like a great fan of Sodom and Asphyx when you were young.
Yeah, there was one. Sodom and Asphyx are or still are my favorite bands. You know,
Yeah.
when it was when I started listening to harder music. All my friends around me, they preferred like Slayer and Creator and I don't know, and I was Sodom and Asphyx. You know, so that,
Yeah.
I don't know why, but that was my two bands. I also have the most records
Yeah.
next to the bands where I play, you know. But yeah, but that was yeah, I don't know. That was good luck that I could play in the bands, or I'm still playing in the band.
Yeah,
Yeah, it must feel awesome, actually. It must feel awesome to be part of it. Like, I remember when I heard Martin's voice for the first time, it was on Pestilence Consuming Impulse still. Old album. I was so blown away by that. And I followed Asphyx all the time. It's one of my all-time favorite bands, I think.
Yeah. Martin told me a nice story when they recorded the rec at Harrow's studios in Enschede. He started screaming, and the engineer went into the recording room and checked the mic.
Something
Because he said he thought it was broken or something.
With the equipment. Yeah, his voice is so specific, so
Yeah,
particular.
it's really cool.
Yeah.
And the really good thing is, you know, remember he is not the youngest anymore, you know, but his voice is still very hard. It's the same with Tom from Sodom. He can still sing very, very harsh and very hard. You know, that's that you see that they are working a lot with their voices. You know, I know from Martin that he's practicing every day. You know, he has like an old gas mask.
yeah.
And he has the earplugs, and then he wears the gas mask and is singing in it, so that nobody in the room can hear. You know,
That's awesome.
I'm not sure if I can tell everything what I'm saying, but okay. Hopefully, it's not that big
I want the
secret.
peak of that. You know, I want to see that.
I didn't know you could do that. That's interesting. Wow.
Yeah, but it's possible. You know, yes, it's an old. I think it's from a jet fighter or something. You know, this old ones with the long. You know.
Yeah.
And he has the earplugs in it, puts it on, and then you can. And you hear nothing. There's no noise outside.
Crazy.
Husky,
So
how did you get into the bands, into those big bands? You know, like Asphyx and Sodom.
Yeah, Asphyx was. I received a call from Alvin because I knew him a bit longer than the other guys, and he told me that Bob wants to leave the band, and but they would like to go on. So they told me, they asked me, you want to move into Bob's steps? And I said, yeah, of course I will, but I don't want to be, you know, that guy who replaced him or something, because I'm a big fan and I want to have Bob in the band and not me, you know. But after that, Bob told me that I am the that he told me that I am the only guy who he would give the sticks to, you know. So yeah, and still, you know, I'm still in good friendship with Bob. You know, we meet like once or twice a month, drinking coffee, talking about old times and stuff, and changing records and everything. So it's a really good vibe also with the old members, you know. So
wow.
Yeah, and with Sodom that was a bit more strange because Sodom is also in the booking agency where I work, and so I receive every news one day earlier before it goes online. And I received a message from their booker that Tom kicked out Maka and Bernemann. So I called him and asked him, hey, what happened? You know, what's going on there? And he said, yeah, big problems, blah, blah. And I told him, yeah, if you need help until you have a new drummer, I can step in if you have to play any shows or something, you know. Yeah, and then after a while, he told me that he wanted me for a permanent drummer. Of course, I was happy, but I told him that Asphyx will be ever still my #1, and I need 2 Saturdays a month for Asphyx, and the rest is for Sodom. But at the end, after 2 years, we figured out that it's not possible, you know, because the other 3 guys in Sodom, they really live from the money, you know, from the band money, and I'm not, because I work with the booking agency. Yeah, so they wanted to play as much as possible, and I told them after a while, yeah, but there is an Asphyx show in there, and I can't, we can't change that, because with Asphyx you only can play Saturday, because the other guys in the band expect Martin, they have also their regular jobs. You know? So yeah, that's the whole most of the that was the most biggest problem that I had to leave Sodom.
Yeah, it's 2 big bands. It's too much, I think. If you get offers for live gigs for both bands, it's too much. And maybe you get an offer for the same concert or for the same festival, no? With both bands. Did that happen? Say they have to play twice?
Yeah, that happened 3 times. We played in Hamburg, Sodom headliner, Asphyx co-headlining. And then I had one festival, it's called Way of Darkness in Germany. I had to play on Friday with Disaster, and on Saturday with Asphyx and Sodom. So I was there, so I got 3 times free beer.
That's a story, man.
Yeah, but it's really, it was from the power side, it was okay to play 2 shows, but at the end it's a bit not easy to switch, because Asphyx is a totally power show. You know, you put the power in pounding, and Sodom is a bit, you know, faster, and a lot of long songs, and so it was not easy for me to switch sometimes, you know. So with Asphyx, everything is, you know, I can play blind, you know. When I hear a mistake or when I do a mistake, it takes 2 seconds and we are in again. But with Sodom, it was a bit different, because the songs are too fast and stuff. So
yeah, right. So drumming styles are very different between the 2. Like Asphyx has these dooms, these slow parts, these bum bum bum, like. So yeah, it's a very different style then.
Yeah, and it's also in Asphyx, you can be a bit sloppy and nobody feels it, you know. But when you have timing problems in Sodom, directly the people are counting the mistakes, you know.
Review. Metalphetamine crew, 3 guys, mistakes.
the musician police, we call them.
Musician police. And in the pit usually. How is it to learn all the songs for Sodom? Like, I don't even know how many albums Sodom has meanwhile. How was it to learn all that stuff?
Actually, I learned around 60 or 50 songs in the 2 years, because we only took a few songs from each album, you know. And since Blackfire is back in the band, we didn't play so much songs from the latest albums, more from the, you know, Agent Orange, Bush Mania and stuff. So and these are the records I grow up with, so it was much more easier for me to learn that songs instead of these ones. And it's also I couldn't play the drumming from Maka. You know, I told Tom I can play it how I would play it, because Maka is he's the way much better drummer. You know, so that was and I'm a bit limited in my drumming, so I can do what I can play what I can very good, but when it comes to more technical stuff, I'm not so the right person, and I'm too lazy to learn new stuff. So
right, of course. Did you see the drumming evolve? Like, the drumming on the first albums, on the early albums from whatever band, is very different to the latest albums. Do you see an evolution there?
Yeah, of course. You know, I think that's in every band that especially when the band starts as kids and grow up with the music, you know, you have this evolution in every album. It's for me, it's also with Disaster. You know, when I started in Disaster, my drumming was really extremely limited, and I learned over the years everything. And so the last album with Disaster, I mean, that also of Iron Ritual, I think it was from the technical side a good album, you know. And that was the same with Sodom, Witch Hunter. From the first records until he left, he became better and better, you know. So I think that's the normal thing. Nowadays it's a bit different, because most of the bands already, most of the guys already played in 10,000 different other bands, you know, and they know what to do. So mostly the first record is directly a really good one, you know. And you can also, nowadays everybody knows how a recording studio works, you know. When I entered the recording studio first time in '95, the guy, the engineer, told me like, play a groove. And I said, what? What's that? Yeah, he said, play uka uka. I said, okay. You know, because I didn't know, I also didn't know how much microphones he needed for the drum kit. You know, I had no idea. I just went there and we said, okay, we are recording a demo tape. You know, and I had no idea what I had to do. You know, and nowadays you know everything. You can do it at home. You know, so every demo band has a good sound and they are good on their instruments. And in the beginning, it was not the same. You know, it was different. So
yeah. You can hear it on all the debut albums of all the bands, you know. Sometimes it was like kind of hit and miss. You know, some production was like total rubbish, the other one was great.
Yeah.
And it took a few years to the early 90s actually till everything found its routine, I think.
But I think in that time the feeling was more intense, you know, because people were more into the music. They you know, I don't know how to explain that. But it was more feeling behind it. Nowadays, it's like, okay, we're doing a record. Yeah, give me 5 minutes. I have to download the right program, and that's it. You know. And in the early times, you had to check out where you put the microphone in the middle of the room when you have the best sound to hear everything. You know. So yeah, I preferred that time a bit more because I never was like really into technical music or stuff. You know. For example, my favorite drummers are Abaddon from Venom, or like Bob from Asphyx and stuff, you know, because they're playing with heart and power instead of I have to check no, I missed the one, you know.
yeah, right. Yeah, it changed a lot. Yeah. Do you have any new bands you discovered recently which you really like?
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is a new band. I think they're a little bit for years, but there's a band called Nuclear from Chile. I really like. Yeah, and
there are
a lot of bands, especially in Germany. You have all these smaller death metal bands who I really like at the moment, like Revel in Flesh, Slaughter Day, Demon Breed, and there are so much bands.
Cool. Send us a list. Attach it to the YouTube interview, so people can check them out.
Yeah. But I will think about that. There will be more names falling later.
Yeah. Great.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks.
Now, how many times did you get into South America? If you've been here.
So how often I was there?
Yeah. I mean, with any bands, with any other band?
I think it was like 7, 8 times there now. I was with the first time was in 2000 with Disaster. Then we played 3 tours later. Then I was with Asphyx for a South American tour. And with Sodom, we played Costa Rica. Is that still South America or is it middle?
Yeah, it's Latin America.
Latin America.
Yeah. It's in the middle, yes.
Yeah. But my favorite country is really in that part of the world is really Brazil. You know, because I like churrascaria and some of my favorite bands are. Some of my favorite bands are from there, and you know, like Crisium, Sepultura, Mutilator, Headhunter DC. So it's always good fun there, and yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I always when you have a tour there, it's like you have many dates.
Yeah.
So
Well, Asphyx was only 3 Brazilian shows, and then we went to
maybe Buenos Aires.
Argentina. What else? I can't remember. Yeah, but it was like 8 days or something, because the longest South American tour was with Disaster. That was like 14 dates, I think.
Too many
But,
flights.
Sorry.
Too many flights.
There was we had 28 flights in 14 days.
That's insane.
It was really, you know, after the show, shower, and then to the airport, and then you saw the band going on their seats, and then 5 seconds. That was it.
Crazy. So Fede is organizing in Patagonia in Argentina a festival for as soon whenever it will be possible again to play live. So we have to kidnap you, because Argentine parrillas are actually much better than churrasquerias, I promise you.
Okay. Yeah, but I was
It's the right place. If you like the meat, it's the right place to come.
okay.
And wines and red wines,
Red wine, yeah.
not bad.
I'm open. It's, you know, whenever I come back, when I go to South America, the first thing at the airport is I say, meet me.
We hope to receive you next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next year.
Yeah, you will need like 6 flights to get here, but okay. It's quite fun.
So besides music, do you have any other hobbies that you like to do besides playing drums and music? Do you have anything else you like to do?
I'm a record collector, you know, that's a lot. And yeah, since I'm married now since 2 years, and we have so I married also 2 kids, so that's also kind of part of a hobby now. And otherwise, most of my life is really only music, you know, because for example, this work at the booking agency, when it is normal and not like that, it is not like going 8 hours to work, you know. At the end, you are sitting in front of the mobile and checking all 5 minutes emails and stuff. So at the end, more or less, it's 24 hours metal.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how did you get?
I have a backyard, so I can do a little bit backyard work. But yeah, at the end, it's all my friends listen to metal, so even if they come over for a beer or something, there's only discussions about music, you know, or so. But I guess.
So how old were you when you got into it?
Guys. Sorry.
How old were you when you got into metal and music in general? Like, you know, were you? And when did you start playing the drums?
Ooh. I started listening to metal in 88. 88, yeah, it was 88, around 88. And I started playing drums in 95. Between that, I had a fan sign in Germany, small one.
Yeah.
And
how was it called?
Der Lappen.
Der Lappen.
What does that mean in English?
Lappen, it's difficult to explain. It's like a wet piece of paper.
A dirty towel.
Yeah, cleaning. It's a kitchen, you know.
Yeah.
It's a kitchen towel stuff, you know.
Okay.
Something like that.
Cool.
And it was, yeah, we had like it was a mixture of hardcore, punk, and metal, because I had also some friends with me who helped me and stuff. Yeah. So, but yeah, 95, I started playing drums with my first band, Graveworm. And then in 96, I had to help out Disaster for some shows, and after that, I stepped in.
Awesome. Do you play any other instrument?
No. I'm told I have give me a guitar and I have no idea what I can do. You know, it's, maybe I can play triangle or something, but that's the only.
So what drew
That's
you
what
to the drums? Like what? So was there like an instant kind of pull towards the drums as opposed to any other instrument? Did you know when you listened to metal that you wanted to be the drummer?
No, it was a guy in school who told me he needed a drummer in his band, and I said, he told me like, you have to do that, you know. And I said, I have no idea what I'm. And then I was sitting behind a very small drum kit and started hitting it, you know. And then right after that, the old disaster drummer told me, asked me to help him to build up the drums on some shows, you know, like a roadie. And yeah, then I started playing, and yeah, then one thing comes to another, you know. I met some other guys, and we said, yeah, we do a band. Okay, you want to play drums? Okay, I do guitar. And then it was more a natural way to get it. It was not like, I never had like, oh, I have to play drums or I have to play an instrument. It was just coming. So.
Oh,
You
that's cool.
study or practicing? How does it works at the time?
No, I never had a teacher or something. I just learned by myself, listening to records and try to copy some things, you know. And that's.
Yeah. So
and I'm too lazy.
Yeah, that's because you have your own style.
Yeah, maybe that's the thing, because I never had a teacher, because what I play is what I have in my mind, you know. And even if it's counting wise wrong, you know, because there's one funny thing. When I started in Sodom, I play one fill which I play in every other band, you know. And Blackfire told me that this fill is wrong. It's not on point. No, I said, yeah, but I played for 25 years now. He said, yeah, but it's wrong, you know. And then we put a metronome on it, you know. Yeah, and then it was technically wrong.
So there's always something to improve, you know.
As long as it sounds good. As long as it sounds good, that's the main thing.
And the other guitar players could handle that, you know. He couldn't.
With Asphyx, isn't it sometimes difficult with the timing in Asphyx? Like some songs, I think about Death the Only Immortal, for example, like when it goes slower and slower, and then you have lots of changes of speeds. Is it difficult for you to play?
The funny thing is, when I do that with another guitar player, I think it would be difficult. But me and Paul, we understand each other so well. It takes seconds to understand how, especially live, how fast he needs me, you know. For example, those Doom songs, the timing is always different on every show, because you know, sometimes you have like a little bit aggression in you, then it goes a bit harder, and sometimes you feel relaxed and it goes slower, you know. We're talking about seconds, hundreds of seconds, you know. But it's yeah, with Paul it's easy, everything, you know. With other guitarists, sometimes how to say it, I follow the guitar. Normally it's the other way around. Normally the guitar has to follow the drums. But in Disaster and in Asphyx, I was always following the guitar, so that makes it for me easier to find the right feeling and timing.
Right.
And how do you feel the difference between the recording process of your first album with Asphyx than the last one?
The recording by itself was actually, there was no big difference, because mostly it's like that. Paul comes up with an idea, you know, then we are collecting all these ideas, then we put them together to a song, and this all happens with emails, because Asphyx is a very rehearsal lazy band. We only rehearse like 4 times a year or something. So yeah, and then when you have the ground of the song, then we go to the recording studio or the rehearsal studio, and we put the songs together, and then we record them, you know. So, and the recording process on both albums are more or less the same. but afterwards the mixing was different, you know, because Swane used a different style of mixing than on the new record with Zeeb. And I wasn't so happy with the sound on Incoming Death. So, and now the new record is amazing. So I'm really happy with that.
Yeah.
And how do you come up with your drum parts? How do you write the drum parts? Do you have an idea in your head, or do you play something you like the sound of it and you explore that? I'm curious to know how you come up with your parts.
It's mostly the main rhythm. Paul is you know, he brings the riff and tells me, okay, you can play that kind of rhythm to it, you know, but at the end everything what comes in between every part, and sometimes also the way how to play the drums is different, and I do by myself. So yeah. And yeah, but mostly it's like the ground of the song is Paul, who is giving me the first step, you know, to play those kind of rhythm to that kind of riff, you know.
Right. Who writes actually the lyrics in Asphyx? Whose job is that?
That's 100% Martin.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's he reads a lot of books, and everything he is reading, he tries to put in lyrics. So sometimes it's really funny stuff, sometimes it's really sad stuff, and yeah.
Right. I love his lyrics. He's full-time Asphyx, right? He doesn't have another job, or he has another day job, or?
No. Martin is living 100% from the music. He's still earning some money from the Pestilence records, and in Germany's GEMA. It's,
yeah. Right. It was always my enemy. Now suddenly it's my friend. GEMA is like in Germany, it's like a music fee collecting agency. So when you have a pub or something, you have to pay to the GEMA so they can play music in your pub and things like that. So everybody hated them because they just collected money for.
Yeah, but for the musicians, it's good because you earn some money, you know, because especially with, yeah, but it's for some people, also for the record labels, it's not really so good to have someone in the GEMA.
Yes.
Yeah, but he's living 100% from the money from music, from everything, you know.
Awesome.
And the other guys also?
No, it's Alvin is working for he's working in an office. They are planning big machines for other companies, so he's working all the time at the computer. So, and Paul is teacher. It's a school from 1 to 5, I think. The years,
yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, my Kollegin.
Yeah.
Wow.
So since you work as a booking agent, like, how does the whole industry manage with that situation? You mentioned earlier, like, it's changing every day. It's in Hungary, it's the same. Everywhere it's the same, I guess. Every week there are new measures and opening up, closing down, opening up, closing down. Like, how do you manage the whole situation? Like, is there any foreseeable concert again? Is there anything on the horizon, or how is the situation?
I think everything comes up and falls with the vaccine, you know. That's the most important thing right now. In Germany, they also try now to reopen the smaller shops with this, you know, these tests where you have to wait like 30 minutes and 50 minutes, and then the test tells you if you are positive or negative, you know. But I think that's not at the end. I think that without the vaccine, you will not be able to go to festivals, shows, whatever, again in Germany. I don't know how other countries will handle that, but you know, you will have like a pass or an app or something, you where you can show and then you can go in.
Yeah, yeah. In Hungary, they brought already some immunity passport or something like that.
Yeah.
You get that when you have the vaccine, or when you had COVID already, then you get the thing in the mail, like a small plastic card, and they say there will be benefits for those people already. And I have kind of mixed feelings looking at that. I'm not sure what to think about it yet, but we will see. Do you know something about Metal Days? I just see Metal Days. Asphyx is scheduled, like it will happen this year or not, or?
At the moment, I only know that all the other festivals we are announced, they with every month they postpone to 22. So I think also Metal Days will not happen.
Yeah.
My boss is in a kind of internet community with all the other bigger festivals in Germany, and for example, Wacken is still thinking they will happen.
Oh,
yeah. Also Summer Breeze, but to be honest, I don't think so because it takes too long that with all the vaccine stuff in Germany. So
Yeah,
my hope is that we can start with this corona-proof shows in July, maybe, and then maybe some open air shows also still under corona special thing in September, and maybe November, December. We can talk about again with normal shows. And that's only what I think. And some other guys are really later in 2022. But nobody knows. That's the biggest problem. Nobody knows what will happen. And that's the biggest problem for all the booking and also the whole music scene, that you cannot plan. There's no light at the end of the tunnel. There's nothing what you can. You cannot say, okay, we keep calm until February 22 and then we go on tour. It's impossible.
Yeah, it must be pretty frustrating because you can't plan, you can't play. So I mean, what can you do, really?
Yeah, that was from May to the end of last year. Our company was really like zero. We had Zoom meeting once a month. And then there was no news. Normally we are talking about what we do with that band, and can you help me with that band, and we do that tour, and there's nothing. I try now to organize a few shows for Soulburn in Germany, also the corona-approved stuff. That was my first job since month. But I also have a lot of American bands in my booking roster. But you never know. First thing is, when is it allowed that they can fly over? Then is the thing, is it allowed that they can stay with 20 people in a tour bus, in a sleeper, and driving through whole Europe, where every country has their own rules,
Yeah.
So, and that's
complicated.
It's not possible. Not possible.
Yeah.
So it's still you can do a lot of work, but at the end it's you work for nothing at the moment.
So what are your plans for the rest of the year besides these COVID safety shows? What are you going to be doing?
Working wise with the booking agency, we have at the end of the year 2 tours. It's one tour is a festival tour which will be announced soon. I can't say anything at the moment.
Okay.
And then we have a Headbangers Ball tour, which is also at the end of the year, and our own festival. It's an indoor festival called Ruhrpott Metal Meeting, and this is also in first weekend of December. So these are the 3 main things we are working on right now, and and with my bands at the moment, I'm preparing recordings for Trinitas. The first Rotten Casket mini CD will come out soon. A full length will follow this year. And what else? I had CarnalGhoul. I recorded already CarnalGhoul record, but we are waiting there because the singer of the band is he got cancer, so we have to wait if he can go back to normal or not. So yeah,
Right.
still a lot to do, but
Yeah.
I have an important question.
Yeah.
Is your wife a metalhead?
yes, she is.
Lucky one, man.
It was that's by the way a funny story, because I was on a festival and we both was wearing the same shirt, and it was
Cool.
Rotten Casket, the band where I am now in, and they had a fresh shirt out at this time, and it was only me and her who bought it, you know. So, and we met on the festival and saw each other and said, Yeah.
A true metal love story. Awesome.
It was meant to be. Meant to be.
That is also one of the kids is listening to metal, but more modern. She likes Ginger and Cataclysm and stuff. But the younger one, she's more into, you know, Mariah Carey. And so sometimes when you see me driving through the city, I have you know, some Mariah Carey on my in my car, but it's not me.
Please don't confuse.
Yeah.
How old are they? Your kids?
Sorry?
How old are they?
They are 14 and 16.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, just starting now with everything.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
Mariah Carey version is 14, I assume.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Give it 1-2 years, you know. There's still hope.
Yeah. It's normally it's like that, you know, when the kids are young and they listen to that kind of music, that they go later to the right music, you know.
Yeah.
It's also never, you know. There's a funny story from there's a German punk band called Toxoplasma,
Yeah, I love them.
and the singer of that band, he had a recording studio in Germany where we recorded all the disaster stuff. And once it was years ago, he had a small kid, like 2 or 3 years, and I went up to his living to his apartment, and I saw all the, you know, it was like a police car, a police hat, a police gun, a police a motorbike for kids, everything, you know. And I told him, hey, come on, you're a punk, and then you give your kid all that shit, you know. He said, but remember, whatever they do now, they hate it later. You know? Yeah, right. So it's the same with music.
Right.
And your
Do you
kids, your kids love to see you playing?
Yeah.
Bands or
Actually, they're all like Asphyx, by the way. Sodom wasn't their
You must
kind
do.
of music. Sorry?
they must to.
Yeah, also. No, but they enjoy, because it's also they know the other 3 guys a lot, you know. For example, Martin is at our place like every 2 weeks, you know, so they know each other. And then of course they are proud when they see that the singer of you know, the guy who was 2 weeks ago at our place is now the singer in Asphyx, you know. So they are, I know him.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome.
But they like the music, and also they like the how we are on stage and stuff, you know. So
So, what was the best concert, the best gig you ever played for you subjectively? You know, that you really said, "Wow, that was amazing."
at the end there is, I don't know, I like every show, you know. You know, I don't care if I play in a small pub in front of 20 people or on a big stage in front of 20,000 people. You know, if the feeling is good, sometimes smaller shows are much better than the bigger shows, you know. So
Yeah.
there was of course, all shows in South America are a bit more crazy than Europe, for example. You know, because they totally went wild, and So that's great. That when we went to Brazil the first time, we after the show in Disaster, you know, we told each other, hey, come on, that was like the old Slayer videos we watched from the 80s, you know. People are flying around each other and fights and everything was chaos, you know. But yeah, but that was cool, you know.
Yeah, awesome, cool. Any specific crazy tour story you can share with us, or you want to share with us? Did you ever have an insane party?
A lot.
Drunk or something?
Yeah, some things you can't tell, so I have to
You have to filter.
Just think about it for a minute.
So there's so many stuff happen all the time, you know. From there was one funny story. It was when I was in disaster. We've been in Austria, and our guitar player after the show he was lost. You know, he was away. They said, "Okay, where the fuck is he?" You know, and yeah, he was so drunk that he thought by himself, "Yeah, I have a short walk through the city and I'm back." And blah blah. You know, yeah. And then after a while, he returned, and then he told me, "Hey, Husky, this was funny. You know, I went into a bar. I was sit down, and there was a girl coming, sitting on my chest, and she wanted to try my." In Germany, we say Kutte, you know, the patch jacket.
Yeah.
He wanted to wear that, and then he asked me if she can have a drink. And I said, "Yeah." What was the name of the bar? He said, "I think it was Pasha or something."
Oh.
I said, "Man, there was a whorehouse." So he went inside and didn't know that he was in a whorehouse. You know?
Sure, Russell. I didn't figure it out.
And I had to pay 16 euros, 16 whatever, 16 euros for one beer. I said, "Yeah." Come on, guy. Yeah, but I can't. I don't know any other story at the moment.
Of course.
Did you get?
Not those I can tell.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's remain in the safe boundaries here.
You will share with us when you come here. So with some beers.
No. What happened in the band bus keep in the band bus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you have the chance to tour or playing with Crisium, Sepultura, and those Brazilian bands that you like?
Actually, I was a booker for Crisium for Europe for a while, so I was with them. I was on many shows here, but I think I never played with those bands together. I don't know. Whenever we've been in South America, we played with other opening bands. So no, I never. And I also never met the Sepultura guys, for example.
No,
I don't know why.
But did you see
I was in Sao Paulo at this. Sorry.
But did you see alive?
Sorry.
Them.
Yeah. For live, yeah. But I'm more the Cavalera area than the new area, you know. So
yeah.
And
understandable.
but I was at the in Sao Paulo at the Galeria do Rock. They have this. There was this Sepultura fan club, blah 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 place. I was there. That was nice. But yeah, I never met them.
Are there any bands that you would really, really want to meet?
The thing is, whenever you meet your idols, mostly you are a bit afterwards
disappointed.
You think, what an idiot, you know.
Yeah.
So on one hand, I would really like to meet Dee Snider, for example.
Yeah.
I think he's a really cool dude,
Yeah.
you know. But for example, I like Wasp, for example, but Blackie Lawless is a stupid idiot, you know. Also, you know, like Shaffer from Ice Earth, what happened last time, you know.
Yeah.
I like his guitar playing, but
apparently.
Yeah.
So no, I'm happy with those guys I already met, you know, and especially all those guys in the death metal are really much more like more like brotherhood than in those heavy metal scene, you know. So I'm happy with that, and at the end I met most of all people I wanted to meet. Yeah, of course, you everybody wants to meet James Hetfield, for example.
Yeah,
That guy.
sure. Yeah,
That
yeah,
guy.
yeah.
Right.
Cool, cool. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we know
Okay,
a
so
lot of nice people, nice metalheads, you know, nice musicians, but no, from the big bands, as you say, you know, it's like sometimes you can, you know someone that is your childhood hero, and then is an asshole, and wow, again.
Yeah, it's I don't know why, you know, because at the end they are only big because of us, you know.
Yeah.
They are only well known because we bought their records, you know. Why they have to have a behavior like idiots, you know? So
Yep.
I don't understand that.
Yeah.
They can do it with those like a manager or whatever. You can do with that, but not with the fans. You know? That's
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I agree.
Great for me, guys. My
perfect. Thank you for your time, man. It was an honor to talk to you. I love all your stuff. We love all your stuff. So let's stay in touch, and we share the video with you when it's online.
Yeah. Okay. It was
Thank you so
honor
much for
to
your
play
time.
with you guys, to talk to you.
Thank you so much, Husky.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate
So
it.
much.
Stay safe, and maybe one day we will meet for a beer at a bar.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Sure.
You too.
Sure.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Cheers. Thanks.